Hey Chris, can you tell us about the Jag?
Yes, it's a 1959 Mark I four-door sedan Jaguar. It has a 572 big block Chevrolet in it that was custom built by Revolutionary Performance and Machine. Darrell White head up that project. It has a turbo 400 transmission and a GM 12 bolts. Full tube chassis with a 4-link. Car weighs about 2,800 pounds. I use a 2.56 ring and pinion for land speed racing and a 373 ring and pinion ratio for drag racing. The engine's actually custom built. Again, Darrell White of Revolutionary Performance and Machine built the engine. He did all the port work. The heads flow right at 430 cc or 430 CFM. It has about a 330 cc runner. It is 11.5 to 1, so it does run on pump gas. They're Edelbrock Victor 24 degree heads. It was actually built originally for the Engine Masters Challenge that Popular Hot Rodding put on. And this engine with twin dominators and the same cam that's in it now made 849 horsepower at the Engine Masters. The front struts are made from mid-70s Mercury Capri. They're actually cut down with Volkswagen Scirocco inner cartridges. We still had to come off the tube chassis a ways to make it clear inside of here and run a brace across from one tire to the other. The disc brakes are actually off an older motorcycle where it had twin disc brakes on the front hub. They were removed and bolted onto the hubs here, and then it's using NASCAR brake calipers, 4-piston calipers. They're made out of stainless steel. They're quite 2 to 3 inches larger in diameter than the original Mercury Capri rotors, and they work quite well for braking. Went ahead and put the funny car hoop in to have extra protection. One of the things that required ECTA is to make sure your helmet doesn't move side to side over 1.5 inches. That'll eliminate the neck injuries in case you have a crash. And also with a Hans device, it really makes it a lot safer as far as staying away from neck injuries. Have a lambda sensor up here mounted on the column so I can see it running down the track, see exactly where the AFR is. I left the crosses and the doors shallow to make it an ease of getting in and out. Master cylinders mounted below the floor. Move the seats far back. Since I'm a tall person, I wanted plenty of leg room, but drive it on the street a lot and I want to be comfortable. One of the road trips we took was the 2003 Hot Rod Power Tour. We went from Nashville down to New Orleans. Round trip was 800 miles. Yeah, I built the 4-link out of using templates from pictures, and then I had a friend with a stamping machine to pop out the holes and cut out the brackets. And then we ordered up the tubing with the Heims at the right length. It used to be an unequal length 4-link. I went to an equal length 4-link as the power level went up. GM 12 bolt, that is beginning to be a weak link because I did strip the ring and pinion out of it at the drag strip here a couple months ago. So I'm probably going to have to upgrade either to a 9-inch Ford or put a girdle on this and a better ring and pinion. Has a NASCAR drive shaft. I left it open back here without putting tubs in it. It makes it easier to work on. However, it does kind of throw a lot of rocks on top of the fuel tank. But if it ever goes to Bonneville someday, I'll probably end up putting tubs in it so it's salted and everything. Nitrous tank mounted in this area. One of the requirements at ECTA is you cannot have the nitrous inside of the area that you're driving, so it had to be mounted here in the back, and that was one of the few places there was room right there behind the rear axle. The fuel pump was down in that area. I moved it up here to allow that nitrous tank to fall down in between there. Have a 14-gallon fuel cell. This engine gets about 11 miles a gallon on the highway with a 256 ring and pinion. The small block I had in it before got about 19 miles per gallon with a tall ring and pinion. But it does see a lot of street miles.
So you said you did some drag racing. Did you do 1/8 mile, 1/4 mile?
Did both. When we first put this engine in, we took it to Thunder Valley in Ohio. It went 608, 118 in the 8th. And then at Bowling Green on the motor here a while back, it went a 957 at 144. And then when I turned on the nitrous to try to use the nitrous pass, that's when it cleaned the ring and pinion out. So I don't know what it'll do on the nitrous in a 1/4 mile. People ask me why I picked this particular car. I actually had a V8 Vega that I run through the 80s, and it was an excellent running car. Used it for street driving, drag racing, and so on. And I found this car in the picture post in Oklahoma City. Always been fascinated with Jaguars, especially E-types. But E-types are really pricey, and this one was actually affordable. Being a 4-door sedan, they're not really worth a lot. It had a Chevrolet 6-cylinder in it, turbo 350 transmission, just something to beat around in. Had it for $900. I bought it, drove it for a couple years, and one day I parked it beside my Vega and was looking at it, took the wheels off the Vega, slipped them underneath the Jaguar and loaded it way down. Thought, man, that would make a really nice hot rod. And it was right in there in that Dare to Be Different craze that was going on in the late 80s, so I took everything out of the Vega and put it into the Jaguar.